Um, I'll take a few questions before I do. Just an announcement. This Sunday, we're doing our next group coaching call, and it's on being a healer. So those calls are 90 minutes long. We do some writing, meditating, Q&A. We'll do more meditating this time. Um, and it's based on a book that I'm working on. So it's a fun space. So it's Sunday at 11 Pacific. Be great to have you there. Woo! Oh, and Monday of next week, Desi, who's going to be teaching regularly in meditation school, is doing a hypnotherapy session for the group on some really cool healing work. And that's Monday morning, I think at 11:30 Pacific. We'd love for all of you to come and support that space and sit. It's really, really good. I brought her on to teach because she's one of my favorite teachers. So be great to have you all there. I'll be there. Um, if you have a question, anything that you want to share, feel free to write. Take a moment. I so you're seeing and receiving images, but you don't see them on a computer screen in front of you. They're like floating. That's fine. Yeah. Maybe what you want to do is if your images are floating, kind of just put them out in front of you. Maybe you have a stage. Maybe it's an IMAX theater. Maybe it's like the stars in the background. Sometimes I see it like looking at all the stars in the sky and then the image comes up. So find out what works for you. If the images are floating around everywhere, maybe there's something ungrounded about the energy that you're kind of working on. Okay, that's not uncommon. Yeah. So you might go, oh, everything's floating around and bubbly and up in the air. Oh wait, I'm ungrounded. This energy has been ungrounded. That's your answer. There you go. That's what you're working through. That's the next step. Good. Any other questions before we roll? Whoa. I really appreciate everyone showing up tonight as always. I know it takes a moment to write. If you ever want to share your question verbally, you're welcome to do that too. Just maybe say, I want to say something. I had a few images and they kept bouncing back and forth and I couldn't choose. So me too. Yeah, hard time focusing. Whoa, a lot of you all at once with that one. Okay, let's focus on this one. Focus. If you have a bunch of images coming up and you can't choose, I want you to focus on the energy and not on the image. So what I mean by that is, what is the energy that you're feeling? And whoever said that, a few of you you can answer this by writing. What is the energy that you were feeling when you were seeing a few images? Was it confusion? Was it doubt? Was it like this analytical feeling? What was the feeling? Yeah. Second guessing them. So doubt. Yes, images can definitely be from 30 years ago from childhood without it. Desi will be working on that on Monday, I believe. So a little bit deeper. Strength, okay. Frantic and doubtful. Cool. So Megan, yours was frantic and doubtful. Bunch of images coming up. Let's go with doubt. Doubt is usually the first cousin of confusion, right? They show up to the party together. So doubting yourself, is it doubting somebody else? Is it doubt from somebody else that you've absorbed? Is it truly your own doubt? Is it a moment from childhood that created that doubt? So I want you to get intimate with the energy, intimate with the doubt, right? So, oh man, there's a bunch of images floating around. I'm just not sure. Oh, I hate meditating, or this is tough, or everybody else is probably seeing something clearly. We always have that. Everyone else is doing it right. I'm doing it wrong. No, you're not. You're not doing it wrong at all. You're really not. You're not. You're actually doing it right when you identify the doubt. That's exactly where you should be. Okay, so I've identified the doubt, and you can keep writing, Megan or Liv, whoever wants to share. Uh, all right, so there's doubt. Now, where is that doubt coming from? Yeah, words instead of images happen. That's fine. Yeah, doubting memories from childhood. Yeah. wanting to choose the right one. So let's go with that for a moment. David's guiding this meditation, and I want to make sure I choose the right image. He's watching inside my head. I don't want to let him down. So maybe there's someone from childhood you didn't want to let down. Maybe there's a perfect energy you learned from somebody that you have to do things right. Maybe there's a programming. This is the way you're supposed to do it. So when people come into meditation, they approach it like a lot of other things in life. I have to do this the right way. David, give me steps 1 through 7, the exact steps I want to do the meditation the right way. That will get you nowhere. Enlightenment is that way. You're going that way. If that's your approach. So I'm terrible. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. So, go into that deeper of needing to find the right one. What is the energy under needing to find the right one? What memory, let's say, Megan, what memory does that come from? Where did that come from, needing to find the right one? Yeah. Your dad. Yeah, there it is. So now you know. Okay. Now I'll go to Michelle in a moment. So Megan's like, comes from my dad. Boom, this perfect picture. I have to do things perfect. There's a right way. Leave it up to dad to put that in your space as a child. Okay, it happened. We're not blaming him. We're not judging him. Just a matter of fact, right? Yeah. You didn't want to be made fun of by him. Okay. You wanted to do it right so you can feel safe. So out of a need for safety, you have to, if you do things right, then you're safe. If you don't do things right, then you're not safe. And that sounds like a pretty deep programming and maybe even a wound, right? So then the question is, all right, David, I found that image in the memory in meditation. What the heck do I do with it now? It depends how deep it is and how painful it is. So if we're dealing with something that's incredibly traumatic, like some form of abuse, um, then I do highly recommend working one-on-one with somebody who's good at that. So a therapist or a coach, somebody specific to what you're working on. If it goes so deep that it's too painful to look at and work on yourself. If it's not, and you get the sense I really can do this on my own, then the next step is, all right, let me feel this energy. You can let yourself feel whatever invalidation and pain happened in that moment as a child. And I mean, I could do a 3-hour class on this topic, but just very briefly, look at that memory. That's the image. So you're going, David, I can't choose the image, right? Oh, you've chosen the image. It's this memory from childhood. That's the image. You're in resistance to that being the image. But now we've got the image. That's right. So that's the image, Megan. You've got this moment from childhood. That's the one that goes on the screen. So dad says something or does something, right? You're there. It makes you feel like you're not safe and you have to do things right. Focus on that one memory and one image and the energy on it, and see if in this moment you can tell your childhood self that it's safe, that it's okay. You can notice that your dad was probably doing it unconsciously or from his own pain or his own programming, right? Probably was doing the best that he could do. And you were as well. As a child, you don't know any better. You're a sponge, you just absorb. So there was nothing else you could do. So there's no one to blame here. It's just a matter of fact that you absorbed this programming and pain. And then as an adult in this moment, can you start to let that emotion and that energy process out of your body? Maybe it almost like starts to drain off of you and starts to shift. That might take 10 minutes, or it might take 2 hours, or it might take 2 years of meditating again and again, layer by layer, image by image, memory by memory, just coming off of us, one layer after the other, right? And so we're not inventing ourselves, we're discovering ourselves, and we discover ourselves often through the pain we've been through, often through the experiences we've had. So you just let that unfold one after the other. Maybe the images almost like pop out, memories one after the other. Oh, and it happened then, and it happened then, and it happened then. And I weaved that into the narrative of who I am, and what I do, and what my weaknesses are. So we're unwrapping that story and healing. Most of us, I would say, are healing from some of those memories in childhood. So I don't think, Megan, that you're alone. You know, lots of little cuts. Yeah, good. You can work on it solo. Sure, you did. Yeah, you did tonight, and keep doing it. Great. You had a lot of somebody else had a lot of childhood memories of not being allowed to see something or decide something against your mother's perceptions. Yeah. So I know what's right. You don't. We're going to do it my way. I had a student once who got into Harvard, and her mom said, not going to Harvard. And maybe she's here, I'm not sure, but talk about that being a smack on the third eye, on the mind's eye, going, you don't know what's right for you. Uh, no Harvard. Wow, right? She had to work through that, and she did. Um, Wanted to be a doctor, so pretty close. Yeah, yeah. So our moms could be jealous. They could be wrong. They could be in pain. They could be unconscious. They could be controlling. Yeah, it happens. Anyone in here perfect? Please raise your hand. I would love to talk to you. All right, one more, and then we'll be out of time. I have a hard time detecting when I'm just seeing versus choosing an image I want to see. I get caught up in the effort of manifestation, creating images of what I want things to be. Great one, right? We all do that. Instead of looking at what's really there, we just want to create the really great thing. So let's unpack that for a moment here. I'm creating the images I want versus the ones that are there. Well, why are you creating images that you think you want? Where is that energy coming from? Living in I'm not in LA right now, but living in and teaching in LA, I see a lot of that of like, I want the money or the fame or the whatever, or the partner. Like I want it now. Everybody's like, I'm going to manifest right now. And if you're David, if you're not going to help me manifest right now, I'm going to the next teacher. She's teaching a manifestation workshop and she said, I'll get what I want in 10 minutes. So where does that, and you can answer that if you want to, where does the energy of, I want to create this image because of what I want, where does that come from? Maybe there's fear. Maybe we're afraid of what's here. So we try to create something else versus dealing with the fear. Maybe we're anxious about who we are if we look under the hood because there's pain. And so we try to create on top of that versus dealing with what's actually here. You said control. Great, you got it. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, you get an A plus. Control. I love people who are A students and they're only A students. They have no interest in school. They're just control freaks. And to get a B would be to lose control. Have any of those in here? Yeah, anxiety and fear. Yeah. So the need to create those images is coming out of control. So then what I would say, and Annie, I'm not sure, sorry, is take a look at where did that energy of control come from? Where does the memory come from? Where did that start? Where did you absorb that from? Who did you learn it from? Trace it back and see where it comes from. Maybe being in control makes you feel safe. Maybe there's a moment you didn't feel safe and you learned if I'm in control, I'm safe. If I'm in control, nobody else can hurt me. If I'm in control, I'm strong and people will think I know things. And that will bring me love. Yeah. Your parents said, if you work hard enough, you'll achieve anything. Yeah, so that could lead to control. Well, why do you need to achieve anything? What do you get out of achieving everything? Then what do you get? What would you get out of achieve? You want to be president? You want to be a billionaire? You know, what is it that you're looking to achieve? What is the energy underneath the achievement? Is it love? Is it satisfaction? Is it validation? That's much more important than the thing. Okay. So what is what is the energy that you're actually trying to get if you could quote unquote achieve anything? Yeah. Make them proud. Haha. Da-da. She wrote haha, but da-da. So at the core of achieving anything has nothing to do with you. It has to do with making your parents proud, because what do you get out of making your parents proud? I think everybody in here can answer that. Or what do you think you're going to get? What do you think you're going to get by making them proud? I have to share this one story as you answer that. Validate you and love you. Exactly. You right on the money. We can just share this one thing and then we'll go. We're over time. But uh, I was with some family members. I don't want to be specific because it's not nice. Except I'll just say one older family member from a previous generation or two. there was a there was a male and a female siblings, children, and the older member of the family saved all of the tests and paperwork and certificates from the male in the family and absolutely nothing from the female, and pulled them all out at a family gathering and just was raving about all the accomplishments of the male and completely ignored the female. And when I asked, but what about her? He said, well, her job is to get married. And I was like, wow, 1935, right? Um, and talk about that having an emotional effect on somebody, a wound, an invalidation. And then at that moment, I realized this person will never get that validation from them. They're incapable of giving that validation. Sometimes we look for love and validation from people who are literally incapable of giving it. And so we have to learn to give it to ourselves. We have to. And when we give it to ourselves and it radiates out of us, that's when we'll start attracting it from the outside. But if you're sitting in emptiness and you're going, somebody come love me, you're just going to create more of that same feeling. But when we meditate, that's what we mature into. Okay. I think I'm no exception. I work on that constantly. Whenever I go, I want something on the outside, I look inwards and go, where am I missing it? Can I sit with this and see what comes up? Is there pain around it? Okay. Woo! Yeah. All right. Great job, everyone. Wiping the sweat off my brow answering those questions. Whew, you guys were throwing them at me. It was intense. Yeah. The art of seeing, look what it led to. Let me just unmute us all. You could all say, um, I have to ask you to unmute. I don't know why. Jonah, maybe we could change that for next time. But let's all say goodbye. Thank you so much for being here. Come on Sunday, please, and Monday to Desi's class. Thank you, everyone. Say bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
You're welcome, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.